Hi, this video is going to show you how to properly lap the valves, reassemble the heads for the 2006 3.8 liter Kia. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey, this segment will show you how to put the head back together. Now, mind you, I am waiting on my gasket set, which contains the valve seals. So I'm just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how to do this with just some used ones that I took out of here. I'm ordering my gasket set, my Felpro gasket set, online from Rock Auto. There is a bit of a delay. Couldn't even get it locally. I'm really surprised by that, but there's over a $100 difference in that and the timing chain components. Much cheaper, Rock Auto, Parts Geek, etc. So just keep that in mind. So have all your parts and tools laid out in a nice, clean, kind of surgical fashion. I have, even though they are labeled just for quicker reference, the intake does have a letter I. You see, it says R13, and I've already labeled this as 3, this is 2, this is 1. It's quicker, easier just to see my Sharpie written I and E, just to keep that straight. Again, from previous video, I have right hand intake, right hand exhaust, and the intakes are the larger valve, the exhausts are smaller. I have my valves laid out in the order. This is the front of the head. This is the right hand head, which goes in a transverse mounted engine up against the firewall. Let's see how good. Yeah, okay, so we can see there, that's 5. I went ahead and labeled them just in case things get loose. Once you lap them, that's when it really matters that you have them matched up. But I like to keep everything together from the very start. So you don't have to put an I or an E because intakes are larger, exhausts are smaller. I'm going from front to back, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I can just put, R5, R6, R1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 and 2 go to cylinder 1, 3 and 4 cylinder 2, 5 and 6 to cylinder 3. In regards to the head, not the cylinder number of the engine. There are various assembly lubes you can use in addition to just plain old oil. We're gonna lap. First we're gonna use a little bit of 400 just to kind of clean up the head. We'll use a Q-tip to run some lacquer thinner down the valve guides. Again, you can use lithium grease. There's various assembly lubes, oil. So I'm going to put the camera on the stand and flip the head over, and we'll get going. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Come down and around. I am outdoors. You can hear there's some tree chainsaw work going on. It's been going on for days, and it's nice weather, so I'm working outdoors. So put your bearing caps off to the side. So that's done. We'll go ahead and let's it's better to have the longer Q-tips, the wooden stick, like the ones you see at the doctor's office. I just wasn't able to find any. So you can see what that looks like. I'll run that through, that same one through twice, and then we'll grab another one, and it should come back a little bit cleaner. This is lacquer thinner on a Q-tip. So yeah, see, that has come back clean. Let's see, this one might have a little, we'll just run this one through dry. So yep, that's getting it. It's good. I kind of twist them a little bit beforehand, cut down, and then twist it as you go in and out, and that'll cut down on any cotton threads being left in there. So I'm gonna just show you the intakes, how to put that together. So we're gonna flip the head over, and now our intakes are, of course, down here. I'm using some 400 on a, you want some big, large, flat sanding block. And all we're gonna do is we're just trying to clean this up. Now, I'm not gonna do the whole head. I'm just showing you how just a few simple passes, cleans this up. You want to look for any, deep gouges. And I see a little bit of something there that let's see what happens with a little bit of lacquer thinner. And then we're gonna want to wipe that off anyhow with lacquer thinner. So, and when you wipe in one direction. You don't go back and forth. And if you, this is especially if you paint cars, you don't go back and forth. When you wipe anything, honestly, you go one direction. Go to the end, move down. So now I want to see about this little area. I want to see whether this is something that lacquer thinner is gonna take off, or am I gonna have to spend a little time on that with sanding. So it looks like that might need a little bit of time. You can clean this off. Me, I usually just, if you hear that sound, I'm just kind of rubbing it on my pants, and that gets the, kind of cleans the paper back up. This is wet and dry paper, and this being an aluminum head, you could actually do this wet with some water, but, you are assembling it, so, you're just going to have to make sure you blow it all clean and dry. You just don't want to spend too much time in any one area, because now you run the risk of putting some sort of dip, unevening the head. But that is cleaning up. I'll go back and take a look at that. Let's see. That does feel like a little bit of a low spot right there. It is on the absolute exterior. The new Felpro gaskets are generally thick and will fill that void, but that's the type of stuff we're looking for. All right, so we'll wipe that again one more time. So now we know that is a teensy bit of a low spot. I'm not concerned, again, that head gasket, the aftermarket head gasket will fill that. You're really not going to want to, mill these heads. You're going to just really change the geometry and everything. So, really wish I did it down that end, because I'm going to start from that end. But anyhow, that shows you the difference of just a few minutes there. So let's grab our first intake valve, which is going to go in this hole right here, and those are the ones we cleaned out. We'll put a little bit of assembly lube on that. All right, and put this down in the hole. We'll go ahead and put number 2 in, because that way I can kind of show you this two together at the same time. All right, first we're going to lap them. I just want to see how, yep, they fit in there. They fit in there nice. So, here's my valve grinding compound. This is a water base. All right, let's go ahead and push that valve back out so we can put the valve grind compound on it. Yeah, let's see, let's work down here so you can see it. So it's not going to take a whole lot, 2 little dabs, and then, you know, you want to just keep it right on the face. Doesn't need to get anywhere. Definitely do not get it on the stem anywhere else. If you do, you need to attend to that. Wipe it and clean it, you know, purge it, decontaminate it ASAP. It's a little bit too much. It works a little bit better, actually. I was showing you wrong. If you kind of pull it down, it's maybe a little bit too much. Oops. Got to remember to keep this in the camera here. So let's put the valve back in, wipe your hands back. You want to keep that grit off and away. Let's see, we got 2 sizes on this. I got a little bit of water over here. So now you hear that? It's a real coarse sound. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth, kind of like starting a fire the old-fashioned way. And then we're going to pick it up. And then you're going to hear that sound is going to get a less coarse, a finer sound as we do this. There are other ways to do this. I'm not sure whether it'll work with this head. Now, you can use a drill. I have used a drill. I'm not going to say do or don't do that. And so let's see how that looks. All right, so hopefully we are in view here. I'm going to wipe this off. Again, taking care not to get it on the stem, and we can see the line that we're cutting in there. All right, so that is telling us that we are indeed lapping it in and getting a nice sealing surface. So if that's, let's see, look through, can I bring this close and it stay in focus? Hopefully you can see that there's a line being etched around there. And we're gonna go ahead and then clean this out in here, and you can really see the difference in here. Let me take the camera off. I'm going to set my valve back down. I'm actually going to put it back where it belongs. And let's take a look at that. right, you can see the line being, that nice surface being cleaned out as compared to, well, let's go over here. Here's an intake that hasn't been done. Here's an intake that has. If you can see that difference, and you can see it, see that edge on the valve. See that? It's actually the darker area that we're, that we're looking at. So that says we are done and set. So I'm gonna get the camera back on the stand, and I'm gonna stop this segment because this is a 15-minute video right now, and restart for putting the valve spring in. All right, putting it all back together, there are numerous improvised ways to do this. I'm going to show you a way with a plastic bag and some sockets. So again, I'm waiting on my new parts, so this is just for demonstration purposes. The valve seals will come with the gasket set, so pretend that is a nice, bright, clean, shiny new valve seal. We'll push it down with a socket, and so that's done. I do have a rag up underneath the head, so let me zoom back out. All right, so there is a rag stuffed up under there. The rag is to hold the valve up. And let's zoom back in here, and hopefully I will not get in the way. So we're going to take our valve spring. Here we are. Valve spring. Drop that in after we've got the valve seal in. We'll take our retainer and our two keepers. Very, very tiny keepers, and get those positioned in there. All right, so we've got those in there. I don't know that it really matters in terms of what's easiest to get them back on. So right now, just so I can keep track of where things are, I obviously have them set at 12 and 6. Grab a plastic bag, you know, this is a regular Ziploc kind of bag, and fold it over a few times. Maybe 2 or 3 times, and lay that over the valve, the top of the valve. See how that's looking. Okay, and then grab a, this is a 9/16 deep, 1/2 inch drive. Well, it doesn't matter what the drive is. All right, so you've got the plastic bag over the keepers and your retainer there on the top. Try to get that centered as best you can, and then press down on it. And that's all there is to it. Did you see how easy that was? I mean, it seems to work every single time. So now just lather, rinse, and repeat like 22 more times for both heads, and you'll have your heads back together, except for, go ahead, clean these. Again, I've labeled them, and I'm going to clean those and keep them all where they went, because they're kind of, their wear pattern is to that cam. So this is right hand intake 1. So when this is all cleaned, it's going to go right back in there and on down the line, both sides, and lube it up with assembly lube. So just clean those all before you put them back in, and that's it. All right, well, really hope you enjoyed this video on how to redo the Kia heads, how to lap the valves, and put them back together. So, if you did, grab your valve lapping tool and lap down on that like and subscribe button. Please comment and share, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.